Welcome to the High Ticket Success Podcast, where premium coaches, consultants, and advisors come for bold strategies, big breakthroughs, and real results. I'm your host, Dave DeBow.
Hey, kids, welcome back. Today, our special guest zooming in from Los Angeles. Ian Koniak is an expert when it comes to high-ticket sales. In fact, Ian's been in the space for quite a few years. And if I'm not mistaken, Ian, I think your company, your coaching company, is recently joined the Inc. 5000 as one of the fastest growing coaching companies in the world. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So Ian, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about when it comes to your coaching and your consulting, who you serve and what you do, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So my background was in tech sales. So I worked for a company called Salesforce.com for 9 years, and I was their top global seller and was able to retire from corporate at 41 years old. And now I teach tech sellers how to become top earners in the B2B technology sales space. And
nice. So very, very niche or niche, however we want to say it. Yeah. Tech sellers. Tech sales guys, basically, is who.
And specifically people making, between, I'd say 150 to 300,000 is our ICP, and they want to get over 500,000 to $1 million. So somewhere, they're really trying to crack that elite earner status, and they've been stuck, making the same amount, and they're like, well, why aren't I doing better? So we target people that are really looking to, double or triple their income and take advantage of the opportunity which tech sales presents.
What's the size of that market? Do you focus primarily on the States, or is it global? What does that look like?
I tried to do a little research when I first started my business, and our total addressable market, I think it was about 500,000 total sellers that were either account managers, account executives, and business development type of salespeople in the United States. So that's the primary market that we serve. And if we get a very small percentage of them, our business is doing great. So
exactly.
I don't have an exact number, but I'd say 500,000 is our total audience. And our newsletter is about 20,000 people. So we just scratched the surface of the total possibility.
Well, that's good. So there's lots of ocean still to sail on there. That's for sure.
I think so.
So tell me a little bit about your business. Like, how do you guys serve these tech sellers? Is it one-on-one coaching, group coaching, courses?
So I started with one-on-one. I started just by, charging them per hour, and I quickly had a lot of success in the beginning, and I ran out of time. So I said, well, this doesn't scale very well. And more importantly, I can't make an impact because I have no more time to invest in my clients. So I decided to redo the model and create a subscription coaching membership model where they have a 1-year membership. And we have 3 tiers of membership. We have our entry-level membership, which we call bronze, and that's do it yourself. So they pay a set amount, $3,000 a year, and they get unlimited access to all of my templates, my frameworks. There's a course, there's a app, there's all kinds of videos, and they go through the online course themselves, but there's no actual support. So they really have to be self-motivated and just want to learn on their own and be a do-it-yourselfer. So that's not really where we focus. We really do focus on the group coaching and the one-on-one coaching. So once I got to a point where I ran out of time, I knew I needed a sales team because I didn't have time to go on the sales calls to enroll new people because I was delivering. And then I knew I needed other coaches because my calendar was full. So we set up another tier. We were originally bronze, silver, and gold tier, and then we set up a platinum. So once you get above the online course, it goes into a group coaching. And that's where it's kind of a cohort model. It's a evergreen in a sense where everyone can come in anytime, and they're all it's not a set curriculum that they have to follow in order. They can join anytime, and wherever we're at, they're joining, and they'll get a whole year membership. And that's basically group coaching where we have office hours. They can get support from me. And I also do a group training, and then we bring in guest trainers, guest speakers, and they connect with the other members of the group for peer-to-peer support. So it's a full program where they're learning in a group, and they can get the benefit of using our AI tool to help them when they're not in the group 24/7. I built an AI bot for myself to replicate how I coach, and that's available to them. And then if they want to go to the next level, which is called Gold, then they get the group plus 12 one-on-one sessions with either one of my certified coaches that's very familiar with my frameworks and tools. I have 5 coaches now. That's the Gold level. And then Platinum is if they just want to work with me. So
that's where they get Ian.
Yeah, that's right. So it goes 3K, and then 10K is the silver, then 20K is the gold, and then 30K if they want me. And that is this year's pricing. We are going, depending on when this gets published, if it's in 2026, that's going up because we've been continuing to invest in the program and getting a lot of client results that are substantially more than what they're investing in the program. And frankly, we're hiring a bunch of people, so we also need to reinvest in our growth. And so we're adjusting for
exciting
next year.
Congratulations.
It's been really exciting.
Yeah, that is fantastic. How long have you been running the coaching business for? When did you start?
3.5 years. I launched first in April 2022, so it's been 3.5 years. We're filming in November, and it was genuinely blew my mind. We did a 6-figure launch. I had no sales team, and it was all from LinkedIn. And that's where kind of the tech sellers hang out on LinkedIn. And I said, I got a small group. We're capping it at 50. And I had been posting videos and content and, building this wait list of people, that wanted, I'd been doing a little coaching while I was employed already, but I didn't have a formal program. So I was always full. I'm like, hey, I can't coach you. That killed me when I said I couldn't do that. So I'm launching a group program in a new model in April. Sign up for the wait list. So I'd been building this wait list for a couple of years, and we just launched, hey, it's live. Who wants in? This many spots. And we did a 6-figure launch. It was my first foray into online. And yeah, the rest is history. It's been a rocket ship since then.
So what do you find these days works best for you for finding new students, clients, whatever you call it, coaching clients?
There's so many different channels that we use to top a funnel to build awareness, but I find what works best is organic content on LinkedIn.
Really?
Yeah, we do some ads on Instagram and Facebook, and those don't get nearly the reach as organic. So I'll just give you a simple example. Today, I have a marketing guy that helps repurpose a lot of my original content, and that helps me to be able to post every day. And so today he did a lead gen post where he said, I once lost a $47 million deal to Bill Gates. And here's why I lost it, because I was single threaded with just one executive, and I'll never do that again. If you want my playbook to be multi-threaded, selling business to business, comment Bill Gates. Well, we had, I don't know, I think it's up to 70 comments. And everyone who comments, then they'll have to basically, they'll get a link to get a lead magnet where they enroll on my BDR, call them. So we do a lot of that kind of stuff. We do a lot of webinars. We do some ads, but I found that the biggest channel, it's interesting because our people tend to convert because of our price point. Some people enroll in seminars afterwards. They'll do their high ticket. We do all of it on the phone before they've been in the program. So all of it is on a phone call. So unless they've been following my content for a little while and they know me and trust me, then it's harder to get the conversions off like the ads.
Right. So that's why LinkedIn is so powerful for you.
It's so powerful because they've been following.
Yeah. Well, a couple of reasons I'm hearing. Number one, you're putting lots of content out there on a regular basis, lots of value. Number two, that's where your guys hang out online is in LinkedIn, right? So that's where that's the watering hole.
Yeah, that's really, I post every day, and most of the people that come across and join our program, they've been following me for 1 to 2 years. And so by that point, and a lot of my content is geared towards speaking directly to the ICP and addressing the challenge. And my philosophy is give away the best for free and give as much value as you can. And there's a principle of reciprocity in sales and in life, frankly. When you do enough good things for other people and you bring enough value, they do feel obliged at some point to want to work with you in some capacity. And I just feel like, when we get people on, our close rates are 40 or 50% in terms of our conversion because they've been nurtured for such a long time. And besides LinkedIn, we have a pretty good size newsletter of 20,000 people. And we every week for the past 5.5 years, I've been putting out, long before I started my Untap, I've been putting out a newsletter with a free training video every week. And I go pretty deep with these trainings. And so you get a lot of people that, when we have any kind of, campaign or price adjustment or special going on, they'll say, okay, enough is enough. I'm still not hitting my numbers. I can watch all this stuff, but unless you can apply it and implement on your own, free is not going to do you much good, because there's a lot of people who just consume, and they don't apply and implement a lot of the content. And that's kind of who we're after is, I'll give you all this stuff for free, but if you need help applying it, you might be a fit for us. So that
is so interesting. And I was just chatting with another gentleman earlier today that helps people in the high ticket course space. And I was talking with him, because I've heard a lot of course creators saying, well, AI is kind of killing my business and people don't want to pay for it. They can get training for free and information for free on AI. And what he said really kind of jives with what you just said. Yeah, information's out there. There's no lack of information. What there is a lack of is being held accountable.
That's right.
And community. So that's kind of, to me, sounds like what folks are kind of paying.
Yeah, that's what we give them. So we have a whole Slack group. If they do the gold level or the platinum, we do live events. We get everyone together. They open up. The other thing that's kind of unique about us is we don't just do the sales training. We focus on the whole person. So we train on mindset and habits. So, I'm very big into, you can tell you what to do, but if you got limiting beliefs about yourself, if you got, distractions that are bothering, if you got perfectionism, anxiety, it's going to be really hard to implement. So let's look at what's holding you back. Let's go through your beliefs.
Yeah, let's get in here. Yeah.
Yeah. And your habits. Where do you spend your time? Are you focusing on the right things? In sales, we call them revenue generating activities. How much of your time is our day? So we really look at the mindset and habits piece, which I think is our unique differentiator versus every other sales training out there, which is like the tactics of what to say on the phone or how to do a proposal or storytelling. No, we're looking at the full. That's why it's a year program. We say, look, if you just want sales training, we're probably going to not be the right, company. We certainly can give you that, but a big part of what we do is help you do it in less hours so you can enjoy your family, so you can have good health, so you can feel happy and fulfilled. Because salespeople, let's face it, sales attracts a certain type of person that maybe is a degenerate or a glutton for punishment, or maybe it's just a certain personality and they're just never happy or never fulfilled, and they just tend to beat themselves up so much. So if they're not doing well, they're beating themselves up for not doing well. If they're doing well, they're beating themselves up because they're not doing better, or they have to start over, or they're just
because there's somebody doing weller than they are.
Yeah, totally. So you get this whole spectrum of people that are dealing with either underperformance or just overstress, and even the best ones are like, maybe they're not around for their family, or they're just always thinking about work and they don't sleep as well. So when you train on the mindset, habits, and selling skills, you can take the top performers and help them to balance, what they do in the day so that they can spend time where it matters most. When you take the underperformers, you can tell them to maybe tune it up on the work side and really focus and maybe, tune out some of the other stuff. So it's really cool to be able to meet people where they are and give them the thing that they need versus just telling them what to do. Because frankly, like to your point, the information is out there. It's free. Shoot, you can go to my YouTube and get every piece of sales training you want for free. But people don't pay for information. They pay for application. And that's really what we're doing in our weekly calls is we're helping them apply. We're answering questions. We have breakout sessions where we do the work together. We put the plan. They have accountability groups. So all that community and all that accountability is what people sign up for because they realize on their own they're struggling. And I just want to give people a home and some support where they can actually have the resources and people who believe in them. That's the other thing, is just believing in others. A lot of people, they've just come from hardship, or maybe their managers aren't very nice to them and their companies aren't supporting them. So they find if you can go to a community where people believe in you, where they, invest in you, it makes a world of difference to have that mentorship. So I feel grateful to be able to bring people in and really pour into them. And we've had so much. The only reason we've grown the way we've grown is because our clients have been very successful and they've told a lot of other people. Most of the the stories. Once people finish, I capture their testimonials, and we're like 250 testimonials already, either videos or text. And that stuff speaks volumes because, for a year program, we're not the quick fix. We're not going to come in and learn some magic, technique and be done. We're you got to show up every week for a year. This is
So I got a couple of questions for you, Ian.
Yep.
So with your tech guys, just out of curiosity, because I've never worked in that field, what do most of them do for lead generation? Is that done for them? Are they just kind of getting calls booked in on their calendar? For them?
What do they have to go? The people we coach, how do they find their customer? Are you talking about our clients or for my team?
No, your clients.
Yeah, they have to do outbound. Most of them have to call into CIOs or executives at these big, it's mostly enterprise sellers. So they're selling to the Microsofts or,
Right.
the Pepsi companies. And these are sometimes small cities. You might have 30,000 employees in these companies.
Right.
So figuring out who's who and how to navigate and how to get in is a huge ordeal versus like high ticket stuff where it's just one decision maker, right? So we teach them how to prospect to power, to get into executives, to use multi-channel marketing, videos or different email call combinations, referral. So we teach them how to get in the door with executives, which is not taught in a lot of companies. They don't teach how to prospect. They teach the products. They teach some of the onboarding and the tools, but they don't show you how to prospect to executives. So that's kind of filling the gap. Yeah, it's a big part of our program. It's like the longest module is the prospecting module.
I would imagine, and there's lots of ways to do it. Okay, cool. And then another question that came to mind is, obviously you work with the tech guys. Most of the people that are going to be watching or listening to this are not tech salespeople, but they're self-employed coaches, consultants, advisors, struggling with marketing and sales.
Yeah.
So what have you kind of seen in your experience are the big mistakes not only tech guys make with their sales process, but the rest of us as well?
Yeah, I think entrepreneurs, I have a big advantage, Dave, because I came from sales. I spent 19 years building sales teams, and I know the persona that I'm selling to because I was him.
Exactly.
And I just have sales in my DNA, whereas maybe you're an author or a coach or a speaker.
Yeah, they're just not in the DNA.
Sales background. So I think a lot of people, they make the mistake of trying to make their product perfect or their production quality perfect, or they're really not doing the main thing, which is get clients. They're worrying about the let's just say the dressing on the window curtains versus the core building inside, which nothing happens without revenue. So I'll just say, when I got started, I didn't have a website, I didn't have a YouTube channel, right? I had my LinkedIn, and I just started posting. And I think one of the things people don't, I'll give you a couple areas. One of the things is they don't necessarily value themselves enough, right? And understand their worth. So they undercharge. That's a big thing I see with my competitors. They're charging, a tenth of what I'm charging, and they just don't know their worth. And you're going to attract a very low caliber client when you're charging a very low price. So I think knowing your worth and understanding the value you bring is really important. I think the other thing is, like, people are afraid to put themselves out there. And one of the first things that I did is I got on a lot of podcasts when I was starting. I posted every day for a year. I started my newsletter. So you have to realize it's not about how perfect a post is or a video is. It's about consistency of, showing up. Yeah. The best sales technique is visibility. I think is like being visible to people. So people just see me everywhere. And then there's this comfort factor when you're consistently, posting. And I think that's another thing, is they're trying to create the perfect post or the perfect message of spending. But if you just do writing every day, you're going to get a lot faster at it. You're going to realize, like, the things that you think you're going to do great don't do well. The things that you like kind of half-ass and do quickly might blow up. So it's really about consistency. That's another thing. And then I think just not having the product all baked out, like pre-selling what you have. So when I did my launch, we hadn't even built the product yet, right? I had the wait list. I said, well, we got the mindset built. We're going to get through that. And then I'm building the habits. And I had
You just stay one step ahead of the group.
I stayed one step ahead of them. So then we're building habits when we're in mindset. Then we got the habit.
It motivates you to get shit done. That's for sure.
So by the end of 2022, we launched in April. By the end, I had the full course, and I charged lower for the beta group, and then I changed my prices because now I had a much more comprehensive program. So
and you had results and everything. And the other thing I heard you say, Ian, I don't know if you'd agree with this, but don't be afraid to give away the good stuff for free. That stuck out. Tell me a little bit about your thought there.
All of it. I'll give you a good example. Have you ever heard of a guy named Dan Sullivan? He wrote,
of course, strategic coach.
Strategic coach. He's a great entrepreneur. And so his stuff, maybe it's not free, but I bought his book, 10X is Easier Than 2X. I bought his book, The Gap and the Gain. Now I'm comfortable with him. I hear him on the audio. I'm like, this guy, shares some of my values about family and entrepreneurship and where, productivity and how we should spend our time. So I already am committed to joining Strategic Coach, right? So that's one of the programs. I always have a group that I'm with. And because he's been in my ear and I align with his philosophy, I don't remember what it was. I think I went on his book, he had, hey, go here for all my free resources. And they gave a whole free resource kit. And so I signed up, and then of course their team reached out and said, you want a meeting? And I said, absolutely. So it wasn't because he's trying to bamboozle me. It's because I see value in his content. So whether it's a book or whether it's a YouTube channel or whether it's daily posts, however you can give all your stuff away to the masses or at a very low price point, do it. Because that to me, my YouTube channel, I have videos where I give away all of my frameworks. I give away my commission calculator. I give away my 12-week year scorecard that I adapted from the book that we use, the 12-week year. I give away, all kinds of templates for prospecting. And that's what gets people to the newsletter, which then gets them to the videos that I post every week. So you really do.
That's what creates that relationship. So they know, like, and trust you. And they go, okay, my numbers still suck. I've got all this free information. There's got to be, I'm missing something still. I'm missing the magic sauce. So
that's right. So if you're not giving value, they're not going to want to work with you. It's going to be, so give the stuff that's going to, I'll give one more example. Last year, we did something called the Summer of Selling, where every week for 12 weeks, I did an hour training where it was very, very thorough and comprehensive. And it was basically mirroring the 12 months of our program with like kind of a few key concepts for 1 hour. And we'd give a resource at the end. And that ended up getting us over $1 million in revenue from the Summer of Selling that were attributed to people who attended at least one of those sessions. So that was like, I said, this is the best free course you will ever find on strategic selling. So I did that, and it was fantastic. And there's a sign up. It's called the Fundamentals of Strategic. The Fundamentals of Elite Tech Sales is what we called it. And we have this. I don't know if you have the visual of the YouTube. I can share the link, but it's basically 12. It says, I'm looking at learn the elite tech sales fundamentals required to be a top 1% performer. And it's 12 weeks of free training. And so,
well, if you don't mind, plunk that link in the chat here, and I'll make sure that we put that in the.
Yeah, I'm happy to. It's for an example of go through it. If you're a coach or an entrepreneur, this is not for you to buy my services. It's for you to see how it's done. So go through it, look at the emails you get, look at the flow, and you'll see the all we did is we ran this training and we just recorded each one. And then now we have it as a evergreen free course that people can take. And we get a lot of leads. We get hundreds of leads a month with these free courses. And I have a free masterclass of how to make $500K to $1 million in tech sales. That's about an hour and a half. So those are kind of our two main lead magnets, but they are so packed with, I just give everything I know. And it's built on the premise that if there's so much value packed in, they're going to want more. And if they can't apply it themselves, they're going to want help. So that's kind of how I've run my business from the start, and it's worked out really well.
Yeah, well, I love how you said earlier, it's not about information, it's about application of that information. Ian, if people want to get more of you, which I'm sure they will, or they want to connect with you, what's the best way to do that?
So 3 places, right? If you want my video training for free, I got a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Ian Koniak. If you want to connect with me or in any regard, LinkedIn is where I post every day. It's just Ian Koniak on LinkedIn. And if you're interested in coaching with me, or you're a seller and want to learn more about my programs, or a coach, if you needed some support in setting up your programs, you go to untapyoursalespotential.com. And we have a free strategy call for 45 minutes that my team will go on with you and see if we can help.
Wonderful. And this has been great. Thanks for being on the show.
Flew by, Dave. All right.
That's it. All right, everybody, take care. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for listening to the High Ticket Success Podcast. Want to be featured? Share your story and inspire other premium coaches, consultants, and advisors? Apply now at highticketsuccesspodcast.com/guest.